Alright folks, quick video, lucid dreaming journal, vernal entry, whatever it is. Really quick. Let me try. Be real quick. As you can see, I'm just waking up. I've been through an entire night of waking up every 10 minutes because I was trying to do something new. I was listening to Stephen Leberge last night, and he was talking about what was it? False awakenings. He was talking about when his lucid dreaming actually increased, and he was basically having them, having like one a night, and it was a breakthrough for me because what he mentioned being a lucid dream was waking up in a dream. Like how many times you wake up and realize that you're dreaming in a dream and are able to observe the environment. Well, that's been happening to me pretty much once a night. So I guess that part is working. So with basically the only thing that's really allowed me to wake up that way is when I notice that I'm dozing. It's basically like a meditation I do before I fall asleep, where I just make it important to wake up, to recognize. So usually what happens is after like 5 or 10 seconds of being asleep, or what feels like 5 or 10 seconds of being asleep, it just dawns on me that a couple minutes ago or a couple seconds ago I was trying to fall asleep. So that allows me to realize that, oh, I'm in a dream, and then I wake up, or I open my eyes and then I can see it, and oh my goodness, it's a crazy look. I mean, everything is the same, but it's got like a different type of vividness to it, and it's amazing to look into a place that's technically in your mind or in the dark and see light still. It's kind of crazy, but that was a breakthrough for me, because he was saying that is lucid dreaming, becoming lucid, but it's not necessarily having a full-on dream. And then he talked about a technique where when he gets to that stage, he spins. What he said was he falls flat on his back, and he said that usually caused a false awakening, which means that it kept him in the dream, but because he was conscious of doing that thing, it made him think he woke up. And I thought that was pretty awesome, because now I know what to do to prolong my lucid dreams. So last night what I wanted to do was create a false awakening. Remember, if you watched the other video I just did, I talked about the guy who has the timer that allows you to basically set a timer that you don't have to necessarily touch, and it runs automatically to keep you waking up at certain intervals throughout the night, so that you can basically wake straight up into, well, when you hear that beep, it wakes you up enough so that you can basically go into a lucid dream or out-of-body experience. Because usually when you first wake up, you can exit. If you're conscious enough to do it, or if you're aware enough to do it, you can exit if you have the proper techniques and all that kind of stuff. But one thing that's been happening for me, like I've told you guys, is those false awakenings. Now, when I first started this journal, I spoke about kind of like an inception, where I could plant the idea in my mind so that I wake up later. Like, for example, I told you guys about the alarm clock. When I was working for people, now I work for myself, but when I was working regular jobs, getting that feeling of, oh my God, I overslept, and you're waking up and realizing that you didn't oversleep, but your alarm will be going off in like 10 minutes. So you're falling asleep thinking, okay, I got to kind of stay aware of this. And then you start dreaming about looking at the clock and seeing what time it is. You start dreaming about doing regular things. And those are false awakenings. Or you have that dream where, you wake up in the middle of the night, you really got to go to the bathroom, but you don't feel like getting up and going. So you start to have a dream that you're going to the bathroom. That's a way to implant an idea into your mind that you can later recognize. So last night what I was trying to do is basically have a couple false awakenings, and it wasn't as successful as I thought it was going to be, but I did end up having one lucid dream where I in the dream, see, and this is the other thing, I'm not really sure how much of a dream it was, I think it was a dream because of the way that the environment looked, but it was, dream environment laid over top of my actual home, because I slept on the couch because the couch is more uncomfortable. It keeps me a little more alert, but what I'm realizing is it doesn't allow me to go deep enough in between the intervals so that I can really get into some good dreaming stuff, and remember that I'm dreaming. It wasn't long enough. I wasn't deep enough to be able to remember. But at this one particular point, I got up and kind of floated out the house and floated down. I'm on the 3rd floor of my apartment, and I can see the sidewalk from where I'm at, where a lot of people who are coming home walk through. So I basically floated out there and went down to the sidewalk. But the difference is, it was actually nighttime, but in this lucid dream, it was daytime. By the time I got down to the sidewalk, it pretty much faded, and there was nothing I could do. I couldn't even think to, do the spin around like he was talking about, or fall flat on my back, because he says the movement keeps it being real. As long as we allow our dream bodies to be the vehicle of momentum, as opposed to our physical bodies back in the bed, then we can stay in the dream. So I did have one, I guess, false awakening, because it did look like my home, but for all I know, it could have been an out-of-body experience too. But it was daytime when I left out of my body, so I'm not really sure. And so my new method, because this has actually been effective for me. My new method is going to be, I'm going to use that dream timer thing to wake myself up throughout the night. I'm going to set it. I'm going to go to sleep and get rest first, because that's important. That first half of the night is a little harder to stay lucid or conscious, because you're so tired and your body needs that sleep. So it kind of makes you, if you've ever been really tired and you wake up and turn your alarm clock off, and then you wake up late an hour later, you don't know why you woke up late or how your alarm clock went off, but your body needed that sleep, so it did that for you. Well, that's why the first half of the night is just better to get your sleep, wake up 5 hours later, and then start. So that's what I'm going to do. After that, I'm going to set my alarm for 10-minute intervals, back to back to back to back. That way, within that 10 minutes, I can fall asleep. And what happens is, the anticipation of the beep is what I look for. That's what's been giving me the false awakenings. The anticipation for the beep. It's just like the anticipation for my alarm clock, or the anticipation of having to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to use those things. I'm going to use that as my dream signal. So every night, I'm going to set my alarm clock at that time. I'm going to wake up 5 hours later, have it go off it's either going to be like every 8 minutes or every 10 minutes. And I'm in the dream. What I'm going to try to do is make it so important to anticipate this beep that I start to dream about that. And it'll happen consistently, because I know it's already happened that way. And what I'm going to do is, when I have my false awakenings, I'm going to do reality checks. So every time I wake up in real life, I'm going to do a reality check, because it could be a false awakening. And through this habitual pattern, eventually, I'm going to develop a stimulus that anticipates the clock like this consistently, even when there's going to be no clock. And then I'll be able to pretty much wake up and identify whether it's a dream or not, and then move about as I so successfully did in my false awakenings, not knowing that it was a dream. So I'm excited about that, because last night I really got this overwhelming feeling that last night was going to be the night that I had a lucid dream. And when I woke up this morning, I had actually forgot that I had one until I started to record. And I remembered that what seemed to be either a lucid dream or out-of-body experience. So last night was a success, but the most successful thing is the technique that I got, because it combines things that I was doing before I was trying to lucid dream that gave me false awakenings, and it combines things now that I use to lucid dream that also had false awakenings. So I'm excited to see what happens. Sorry to make a short video so long, but hopefully you guys get value out of the stuff that I'm saying. So I'll update you in the next couple of days and just see what's going on. So thanks again, guys, and pleasant dreams.